Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 106th Rome Total War Brotherhood game that I've put onto YouTube. The team I'm in today consists of Brotherhood member Gladius, who has bought the Rome Scipii faction. And then we have Brotherhood member Pompey, who has bought the Rome Brutii faction. And then myself, Spartan Commander, who has bought the Rome Scipii faction. So there's our team there. I think 3 good players, but you wait till you see the other team. It's pretty good as well. I thought at this stage of the battle we'll have a quick look at Pompey's army here, and if you've noticed, he's bought 17 units of infantry and only 3 units of cavalry. So it'll be interesting to see if the extra number of infantry make up for the less cavalry. Should be an interesting thing to see. And here is that other team. We have Titans member Beast, who has bought the Rome SBQR faction. We have Scorpion King SR, who has also bought the Rome SBQR faction. And we have Wolves member Bend, who has bought the Julii faction. So there's the other team there. I'm sure you would agree, full of really great players. And like I said earlier, this should be a really great game to watch. At this very early stage of the battle, you can see the enemy SBQR cavalry moving out to our right flank. Obviously that is quite a threatening attacking position there, and obviously goes to show that the enemy are going to be aggressive in this game by moving that cavalry out to the right flank. They're obviously looking to probably, if they can, get a combination hit of infantry and cavalry, if that was possible, onto that right flank. So we as a team must be aware of that. Anyway, you can see that it's just a general overall view of the general situation. There's, if you like, an overall panoramic view of what's actually happening there. Basically, the armies are just kind of squaring up to each other at the moment. You can see there's some SBQR cavalry behind the Julii army facing my army there.
We're under attack.
And as you can see, you got Pompey's 17 infantry army there facing the one of the SBQR enemy armies there. There you can see Gladius kind of, if you like, trying to chase off the threat of those SBQR cavalry there. But I think the SBQR cavalry general there would have liked him to continue that charge, because then there was 2 of Scorpion King's cavalry there as well, so it would have been an 8v6 cavalry exchange there. But they obviously decided to pull back there, seeing Gladius's cavalry coming towards them. As you can see, Pompey's moving some units over to the right flank. Meanwhile, over on our left flank here, you can see that the Julii army has moved actually closer into the centre of their army there. Obviously, I suppose trying to strengthen the centre there. So now I must move over to actually match the movement of that Julii army. As you see, there's a lot of enemy SBQR cavalry at this flank that I'm on as well, which could also aid in boost the attack if they decide to hit my army there. If you notice, I'm pulling back a little bit there. Just to fall in line a little bit with my ally there. Be interesting to see what happens next. My guess is the attack's going to be on the right. At this stage of the battle on our right flank, you can see that my allies, Scipii infantry and the SBQR infantry, are skirmishing there. You see there's quite a bit of skirmishing going on there. If you notice that both sets of cavalry are behind their infantry, ready for any cavalry action that might be needed. Meanwhile, back over on our left, you can see that the enemy Julii general has brought his army back out to face mine again, so we're actually facing each other there. But as I say, I think the main action is going to be probably over on the right or maybe in the centre there. As you can see, there's an SBQR cavalry charge just gone in there, and now you can see that there's a Julii cavalry going in there as well. I think that routed a couple of our allies' Brutii units in the centre there.
We're under attack!
If you notice that our allies pulling his infantry back from the skirmish lines there to try and consolidate his line there. As you can see, the Brutii cavalry just counter-attacked the SBQR cavalry there. And you can see out here on the left, there's a bit of skirmishing going on between my army and the enemy army there. If you notice, I'm taking my cavalry over a little bit more to the right there. But if you notice that the Julii general there has brought a couple of cavalry units out to my left flank. So I must be aware of that, because if he attacks at the front and smashes in with his cavalry in that flank, that could rout some of my units. So I must keep my cavalry there and be aware of that situation. You see, he's already charged some of his units into my forward units there, some of his cavalry units. As you can see, meanwhile, over on our right flank there, the enemy SBQR army has attacked our Scipii ally there. If you notice that Pompey is taking some of his Brutii units over there to support our right flank. That's a nice bit of teamwork there by Pompey. Let's say, new players watching this, if you've watched my other battle videos, you know that to win team battles you must work as a team, work as a group, watch your teammates, see if they need help, get reinforcements there, watch for stressful parts on the battlefield where you can help. It's all about, as I said before, it's teamwork to win these battles. That's a nice bit of teamwork there by Pompey, sending reinforcements over like that. Now, if you notice, there's an SBQR cavalry charge going into our allies' Scipii infantry there, and a lot of our allies' Scipii infantry has just been routed with that charge. It was a cavalry and infantry charge there, actually. Nice little move there by the enemy SBQR cavalry and infantry general there. That was a nice move. Routed a lot of our allies' units there. You can see Pompey's got his 3 cavalry units out to the right to help there. I'm just going to pause the game for a second for us to take stock of the situation. As you can see on our right here, a lot of our allies' Scipii units have just been routed. As you can see, Pompey's got a few of his infantry units out there on the right, and his 3 cavalry units out there as well. But as you can see, there's so many of our allies' Scipii units routing now that things are not looking very good on our right. Also in our centre, if you notice, if you remember that we are the blue and the green Roman armies there, you'll see that there's a heck of a lot of enemy SBQR and Julii enemy cavalry there, and our centre our centre does not look all that good. As you can see, I'm just charging my cavalry are just charging in there to help out, but over on our left flank, as you can see, there's just a little bit of skirmishing going on between myself and the Julii army in front of me. So you see, I've just sent my cavalry over there to charge in to help my allies. I know that there's a couple of enemy cavalry out to my flank where my infantry are, but I've decided that my cavalry is needed over here more. So you can see my cavalry charge in, and bang! As the impact to those 5 cavalry units actually hit. As I said, I didn't rout a lot of enemy units there, but the impact of that cavalry would have weakened a lot of those units, which will help us out in the latter stages of the battle, I'm hoping. But as you can see at the moment, in the overall picture of what's happening here, things are not looking very good for the Brotherhood team. I'm sure you would agree there. I say I'm bringing my infantry over now to the centre. If you can see, I think most, if not all, of our allies' Scipii infantry has now been routed. You can see here I'm charging my cavalry into the enemy general. Can you see the enemy SBQR general came through our ranks, and I've just hit it because I want to kill that general, so it will lower the morale of his troops. So allowing his general to come behind our lines there to be smashed by my cavalry was an advantage for us there. If you notice, I'm charging my cavalry back in again. I think I'm trying to catch some of the SBQR units as they're moving forward. I'm trying to hit them in the flank with a view to try and rout as many as I can with my cavalry. Right, I've done what I wanted to. I've got the impact. I got the full cavalry charge bonus. I'm now pulling back my cavalry. Let's say new players watching this, remember, when you're charging with your cavalry, do the damage you want for a few seconds, pull your cavalry back, rally them, get them set, and then charge it again so you get the full cavalry charge bonus. As you can see here, I'm moving some of my infantry units over to the centre now to try and hold the victorious enemy army that's moving towards us from our right. So I'm trying to shore up our centre. If you notice, I'm going to charge in with another cavalry hit. Be good if my ally charged in with his Brutii cavalry as well, and he is. As you can see, we've got our Brutii cavalry and our Scipii cavalry charging in, hoping to rout that Julii cavalry, and bang! With the impact of all our cavalry there, if you've noticed, we've actually routed that enemy Julii cavalry was there. And also, any SBQR infantry that were a bit low on morale, where they've been battle damaged a lot, will probably rout as well, because if they notice that their allies are routing, it lowers their morale even more. And if their morale was low anyway, they will rout. And you've seen a lot of the SBQR enemy army routing there. As you can see, there's still a lot of the enemy Julii infantry left that he's just charged in. So I'm just going to pause the game here so we can take stock of the situation. As you can see over on our right, there's a few of Pompey's Brutii units left. We've still got some of our Scipii allies cavalry roaming the battlefield, which is good. But apart from that, basically it's kind of, it looks like it's just my Scipii army, that's infantry that's left here at the moment, trying to hold against both the Julii and SBQR units that are coming in there. I noticed that both Gladius and Pompey's cavalry have done extremely well there, charging into the enemy. You notice I'm just charging my cavalry in here. If you notice that I charged my infantry in at the same time, I ran them forward to attack the infantry just as I charged my cavalry in. So I'm charging it's an infantry and a cavalry hit going into those Julii units there, and just with the hope of routing as many as I can. As you can see, Pompey's doing a good job of holding the SBQR units off my right flank there with his Brutii units, and a few of my units to help as well there. If you notice there, Pompey just charges cavalry into the rear of the Julii infantry, caused a lot of units to rout. It was like a hammer and anvil attack there, my infantry being the anvil and Pompey's cavalry being the hammer. So that was a nice hammer and anvil attack there by Pompey's cavalry. Great hit there. If you notice, most of the enemy Julii infantry are starting to rout now. Let's say I've thrown infantry units over to my right there, trying to help Pompey hold against the enemy SBQR forces that are left.
Great gods be praised! The enemy show their true virtue. They are not soldiers.
As you can see now, it's just I just think it's a few of the enemy Julii units that are left. But when you take into consideration how bad the situation was in the earlier part of the battlefield for us, when we lost our right flank and our centre was folding, we've done okay to turn this battle around, I think.
The enemy general flees! Press forward so the spirit of his army is broken too!
There you can see Pompey's cavalry charging in there. Great work of cavalry use there by both Gladius and Pompey there. Some nice moves. if you look at, and bearing in mind it's only a 3v3, if you look at the dead on the battleground, you can see how intense and tough this battle was.
A day of victory, worthy of Rome and her armies. Our soldiers have done well.
The first thing I'd like to say is Happy New Year to all our viewers that are watching this. I hope you have a great 2015. And the Brotherhood will still be putting battle videos on for all this year as well, so I hope you'll enjoy them. I'd like to say a really well played to all the players in the game. There were some great moves, some great aggressive moves, some brilliant cavalry hits, and some really great tactical positioning of infantry as well. Everybody played well in the game. The other team did extremely well, I thought, with their teamwork and movement, and I thought I'd say really well done to our team as well. I thought they played extremely well with their teamwork as well. It's a Spartan Commander saying, hope you enjoyed the battle. Have a happy 2015, and we see you soon. Bye for now.